Okay, today's read aloud is In One Tidepool Crabs, Snails, and Salty Tales by Anthony Fredericks, illustrated by Jennifer DeRubio. In One Tidepool. Everybody touch the word in? Crabs, snails, and salty tales. Here is a coastline with pounding waves, sea-splashed rocks, and hidden caves, with seagulls gliding out of reach, and clumps of kelp tossed on the beach, crowded with critters on a summer's day. This is the tide pool. A curly-haired girl with wondering eyes found crabs and fish and a five-armed surprise. She carefully watched the things she found, dozens of animals all around. A questioning child, she truly cared for the tide pool home these creatures shared. Barnacles with legs so small that waved at the girl who watched them all. In one tide pool fun to explore, a web of life on a rugged shore. These are the fish that dart and hide to find their food in the surging tide, near barnacles with legs so small that waved at the girl who watched them all. In one tide pool fun to explore, a web of life on a rugged shore. Anemones with stinging cells hold fast to rocks and empty shells, friends to fish that dart and hide and find their food in the surging tide, near barnacles with legs so small that waved at the girl who watched them all. In one tide pool fun to explore, a web of life on a rugged shore. A blood-red sponge clings to the ledge, a curious creature from edge to edge, close to anemones with stinging cells, the ones who grip the rocks and shells, neighbors to fish that dart and hide and find their food in the surging tide, near barnacles with legs so small that waved at the girl who watched them all. In one tide pool fun to explore, a web of life on a rugged shore. A group of snails with spiral hats glide across the bumps and flats. Beside the sponge upon the ledge, a curious creature from edge to edge, close to anemones with stinging cells, the ones who grip the rocks and shells, neighbors to fish that dart and hide to find their food in the surging tide, near barnacles with legs so small that wave at the girl who watched them all. In one tide pool fun to explore, a web of life on a rugged shore. Thieving crabs drag borrowed rooms, shuffling across the seaweed blooms, past the snails with spiral hats, who glide across the bumps and flats, beside the sponge upon the ledge, curious creature from edge to edge, close to anemones with stinging cells, the ones who grip the rocks and shells, neighbors to fish that dart and hide and find their food in the surging tide, near barnacles with legs so small that waved at the girl who watched them all. In one tide pool fun to explore, a web of life on a rugged shore. A cluster of limpets, brown and white, cling to a ridge with all their might, and watch the crabs with borrowed rooms shuffle across seaweed blooms, past the snails with spiral hats that glide across the bumps and flats, beside the sponge upon the ledge, a curious creature from edge to edge, close to anemones with stinging cells, the ones who grip the rocks and shells. Neighbors to fish that dart and hide, and find their food in the surging tide. Near barnacles with legs so small, that waved at the girl who watched them all. In one tide pool fun to explore, a web of life on a rugged shore. A knobby sea star slowly slips across the pool on feeding trips. It creeps by limpets, brown and white, who tightly cling with all their might, and watch the crabs with borrowed rooms shuffle across seaweed blooms, past the snails with spiral hats that glide across the bumps and flats. Besides the sponge upon the ledge, a curious creature from edge to edge, close to anemones with stinging cells, the ones who grip the rocks and shells, neighboring to fish that dart and hide, and find their food in the surging tide. Near barnacles with legs so small, that waved at the girl who watched them all. In one tide pool fun to explore, a web of life on a rugged shore. The tide pool hugs a rocky place, a magical room with a craggy face. It harbors all creatures, protecting each one in their own splashy world beneath the bright sun. And here you can see the goose barnacles, and the gobies, and the breadcrumb sponges, and the flamingo-tongued snails, and the owl limpets that showed up in the book. So I hope you enjoyed that, and hope you have a great day.